What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth. This your man Mo. Still in the building.
Yo,
Got my man P on the line.
Uh,
Fellas, quick hitters, real quick. MLB wild card started. Series started. I believe Friday or Thursday evening, if I'm not mistaken. So far, the Padres are up 1-0 against the Mets. They lit your boy Max Scherzer up. He was supposed to be a elite pitcher. He got lit up for 4 home runs. The Guardians in the AL, they're up 1-0 versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Jose Ramirez gave him a 2-run home run to give them the 2-1 lead in that series. The 1-0 lead in that series, excuse me. Seattle Mariners are up 1-0 versus the Blue Jays. Luis Castillo pitches a gem versus the Blue Jays. And finally, the Phillies are up 1-0 versus the Cardinals. They came back in the 9th inning versus the Cardinals. They were down 3-0 and came back to win that 6-3. Real disappointing for the Cardinals, I'm sure. Hill, NFL. What's going on last week, man? What's happening in NFL, man?
I would say a nice little busy week 4 going into week 5. The beauty of what I saw was the emergence of the newcomers, up-and-coming quarterbacks taking over the league, and the lack of respect term I'm going to use, dinosaurs, just fading away and going out bad. Let's go from Matt Stafford to Matty Ice.
Wow.
We're going to go over to the GOAT is what they called him.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Tom
Wait
Brady.
a minute.
I will get back to him. And Russell Wilson, is he blind? I have no clue about what's going on with him totally. I mean, he's giving up baseball numbers. So to see the young blood of the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, even the Zach Wilsons, even the Justin Herberts, it's their league now and it feels good. You know what I mean? So the league is in good hands with the young youth, but the old guys, it's time to go. It's time to go.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, I mean, and quickly. I mean, Denver has invested about $240 million into Russell Wilson. That looks like probably one of the worst, if not the worst, NFL contract if this doesn't turn around. That's what set Denver back at least a good 10 years.
Wow. And I hate to even mention this, but I must have misheard something. Something must be wrong with my line. Yeah. I heard you mention Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Part of the has-been.
0-2, and it's been on him. I want to hear about running game. I want to hear about defense. I just think it's a natural decline for where he is at now. And bigger picture, he's not one to have his natural talents and attributes override his age or shortcomings, because he's always been this way. I mean, he's still cerebral. He just doesn't have the talent to override his age, which special people can. I mean, Rodgers.
Hold the presses.
Right.
It sounds like you're trying to say Father Time is going to continue to go undefeated. That's what it sounds like.
Absolutely. But you love to see that gradual decline. You know what I mean? You like to slide down a hill as opposed to being thrown off a ledge. These guys are being thrown off a ledge.
My boy Tom Brady is not being thrown off the ledge.
With the anchor as his parachute. He looks bad out there. I mean, it looks terrible.
Oh man.
So I don't know. We contribute that to age. We contribute that to I'm not going to say new head coach, because I actually love the offensive coordinator. I love Leftwich. You know what I mean? So I just think it's Tom's time to go. I don't know if it's it could be some influence off the field as well. You know what I mean? Okay. So
I think that's the cue for the transition to the drama hour.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Last, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, rest in just shout out to K Slay. Rest in peace. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The drama king,
Yeah.
salute. Rest in power to him. But recent reports say that, hey, Tom Brady and Gisele are looking for divorce lawyers, Hill.
Yeah, and
I
also
mean,
I think they have a stop order on their mega mansion in Florida, which they were building. So it seems to be all the rumors are pointing towards, a split between two a powerhouse couple, and that can wear on you towards a game. I always thought Tom was that Michael Jordan type, that everything outside of his life gets put to the back burner, even if it's bad. I mean, all the defendants, I don't want to talk about other people's feelings, but I remember Michael Jordan was going through, and I love when people say, I don't want to, but they continue to talk about it.
yeah.
But Michael Jordan, when he was going through with his dad, a lot of us, depending on relationships with our parents, would take some time off from the game. You know what I mean? That seemed to have fueled them through those playoffs, and then you saw that emotional breakdown once he won. You know what I mean? It's not like he had that time to show it to us publicly, but once that, once it was all zeros, you saw Michael just, come out and show it. And I don't know how that is with Tom, his relationship with his family. I don't know if that plays out mentally, because you like to take, I guess the phrase is, I can always take work home, but I never want to take home to work. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much hard to function doing your job if that has to play on you. So who knows?
And it kind of leads to a discussion we were having off air about, hey, what the price of greatness is. It seems like, hey, he's on that journey. He's been on the journey of chasing down greatness,
right?
And what you're willing to do to continue that journey at this point, especially at this point in his life, at this age, the number of years he's been in the NFL, the number of years he's been a successful quarterback in the NFL, a champion quarterback. What price is he willing to continue to pay, and how high has that price gotten as his career progresses? Because it sounds like it's in danger. His journey to greatness, on the path of greatness, is endangering his family unit. At least this version of his family unit. Yeah.
I mean, who's to say? I mean, it's hard for me. I mean, because most great players have some type of vice or flaw. You know what I mean? And this could be it. I mean, that love of the game is just unmatched anywhere else. And I mean, from the outside looking at, people say, oh, you're crazy. It's your family. It's your kids. It should be an easy step away. But to be blunt, you're not great. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get to that level to tell you, like, as a person, you're not the greatest at whatever you do. So it's hard for me to actually try to explain to you what these players are going through. You know what I mean?
And is that the difference between, hey, very good and great, in the sense that, hey, most of the athletes that we associate with greatness, they seem to have single-mindedness when it comes to their profession. And they seem to have a single track of determination where, hey, they say it's all about this. Like, I'll use Kobe Bryant as an example. Hey, I recently watched Redeem Team on Netflix. Netflix, shout out to y'all. Y'all should be sending us a check. But watched that and was amazed at how Kobe set the standard as far as working out. Hey, it's not enough to just go to practice and do a workout during regular team hours. I'm getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. and getting my weightlifting in, and then I'm going to do a workout. By the time you wake up and get breakfast in you, I'm already on my second workout. And, I'm just that determined to be great, that I don't need a social life. I don't need to go out to the clubs and socialize like that. I don't need to be at every party or every event. It's about basketball. I'll take 2 weeks off during the off season, and then I'll get back to training schedule. Is that type of determination what separates the very good from the great?
Yeah, I think it separates the great from the all-time great. To me,
okay.
I think there's great players that might not have that commitment.
Got you.
They're great.
Got you.
You know what I mean? But I don't know if they're all-time great, like a Kobe, Jordan, Jerry Rice. Like, who's just think like, you know, they're maniacs when it comes to training. And even I would say Deion Sanders, just, you know, just watching film. You know what I mean? I don't know if that many cornerbacks study film like Deion Sanders breaks down film. And it's that need to be the best, to know what's going to happen even before it happens. And I think, like you said earlier, Hill, maybe 5 to 10 athletes ever could even relate to like this Tom Brady story. Maybe only 10 people on earth that ever walked the face of the earth could relate to that type of passion for your craft. You know, if you're, I don't care if you're the second or third best anything, you're not going to be able to relate to it with this. You know what I mean? So
that elite group, I mean, do we give them a pass? Because it's, I mean, what's normal to these guys? Are they just superhumans? Because to me, Kobe's my most favorite athlete of all time. You guys know that. But waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning shooting 10,000 jump shots, to me, is not normal. But who am I? But that's what made him great. And that's what made me good at whatever the heck I'm doing, trying to be great. Like, should I be waking up 1 in the morning, learning the best of my craft and everything in that nature? I mean, are we wrong for not taking our abilities to that level to which they did to master that craft? Shaq and Fox used to laugh at the guy and say, he doesn't come out with us as a 19 or 20-year-old to clubs or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? He's practicing, but then you find out the extent what they're talking about, you're like, well, that's crazy.
Right. And like you said, it's not normal. And he doesn't have a normal legacy. That's the whole thing I'm saying. He doesn't have a normal legacy.
Okay.
I'm great because what he was doing was not normal. You know what I mean? You know, I say this, and we all revere him, we all love him. Like saying like Allen Iverson, he tells the story where he was in LA and he was like, "Oh, Kobe's come to the club," and Kobe's like, "Nah, I'm practicing." And difference between, you know, where Iverson is in the Pantheon of players and Kobe is.
Yeah,
it's that maniacal work ethic.
Yeah, but should a byproduct be your family, your marriage, your relationships with friends? You know what I mean? Like, should they understand that, or they can't understand that their path to greatness and staying great might have collateral damage? And you know what I'm saying?
I think in an ideal world, and we'll use Tom Brady and Gisele as an example, but I'm not specifically speaking on their situation. In the ideal world, you would think that they would have met and fallen in love, and Gisele would have had her eyes wide open as to Tom's commitment to being great. And Tom would have had some idea of Gisele's long-term plans as far as their family was concerned, and her own personal career and what she wanted to do. And they would have been able to, hey, work it out as far as, hey, what the plan is. It seems like there was a plan. Tom kind of fell back and said, you know what? I'm not retiring. I want to continue on this path of greatness. And it threw a monkey wrench in the whole situation. I think for extraordinary athletes or individuals like we're talking about, that when they do commit to someone outside of that journey that they're on, you would hope that that person that they're committing themselves to would have their eyes wide open as to how committed this person is to their path, and how dedicated they are to their profession.
When you think about professions and all professionals, it seems to me that my selfish thought is that they should be single because they're married to their profession. Healthy relationships, the best of the best. You want to say Tom Brady's the best at football. He loves the game so much. His relationship with his wife seems like it can't be. Michael Jordan. He's been married, divorced, whatever is happening, Jordan is Jordan. You don't know the inner workings of Jordans, you heard stories, but he fits in the line. Tiger Woods. It just seems to go on and go on and go on to their achievement of greatness. And it's like, is it on them that they're on their road, they have their life success, and then whoever comes in who wants to be on there, whoever their significant other, their spouse is to be, should they understand that I play fourth fiddle to them and I can't expect any more of this because this is this man or this woman's, journey that they're going on? It's hard for me to try to understand it, but for some reason I do. You know what I mean? And I feel that it's collateral damage. And I hate that because it's kids involved, it's their wives involved, and it's like, but I understand the love of having something. If you tell me right now, if y'all were feeling like, hey, and it's not the same thing, so I'll never put that in because we're not, I don't consider myself great, but I do consider myself good at something. But if you guys tell me right now, listen, I feel like suiting up and going to play, like that love is there. But for them, that's 100 times at whatever age. Michael Jordan still has that type of competitive feel. And we know he's not better than players that are playing now, but he feels they are. We feel that way. And like I said, we don't have that great gene for basketball like that, but we'll go out there and play right now. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I think it's partner or whatever. I know what you said, like go into the eyes open. I think they think they understand, but like we said earlier, they can't understand. They don't know. Like only the guys who have, like you say, Hill, that great gene, that maniacal work ethic, only they understand. So I feel like these spouses or whatever, or these partners, they may think, okay, I get it. You're a football player, you're really dedicated to your craft. Okay, I'll hold down the family, and when you have time, go make it work. I don't think they understand.
No, I don't. I agree with you, Pete. I think to be a great podcaster for us, I think it would take us, for the love of it, not 15 hours out the day. And for those that say, I want you to become this person in it, it takes that determination. If I want to play a poker player and you say, oh, you won this and you love poker, it takes 10 to 20 hours a day of learning the game and continuously playing that game. And I don't think a spouse, it's not fair to them. I get it. But I don't think they understand what it takes to be great. And it seems like I'm projecting against, spouses, but I think that's the byproduct of it. You know what I mean? If you really want to be great at something, it takes 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. And people just settle to be very good at something.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And on that vein, we talking about Tom Brady, and I kind of want to bring LeBron James into this conversation in the sense of, when do great players like Tom Brady and LeBron James, when do they get to the point where they know enough is enough? When, like, for example, and we talked about this off the air, in the sense with Tom Brady, part of his greatness, or why we consider him among one of the GOATs of professional sports, is the fact that he's won 7 Super Bowls. That, hey, he has a knack for winning Super Bowls. And the thought was, when he went to Tampa Bay, is that, hey, he was going to Tampa Bay to compete for a Super Bowl. And he won the Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. And at least for me, I would think that once he announced his retirement and then came back, I'm thinking, hey, you're coming back because you have supreme confidence that you can win another Super Bowl. Now we're quarter of the season is over and his team is 500. It doesn't look like they're the favorites to win a Super Bowl or seriously compete for a Super Bowl. So why is he still playing? You know what I mean? Like, especially now that your wife is looking for a divorce lawyer. It's like, okay, bro, do you want to call it quits now? Is this the time now? And for LeBron James, almost similar situation in the sense that, hey, 20 years in the league now, ain't too much left for you to accomplish. You got your MVPs, all stars, all NBA teams, our finals MVP, brought the championship back to Cleveland. And this Laker team is not going to be competitive. It's going to be a lottery team. And so what are you playing for at this point? Are you playing just to wait for your son to get into the league? At one point, do the greats call it quits? At one point, do they say, hey, mission accomplished?
I think it comes down to self-belief. In both instances, you're saying that Tampa Bay's 2-2, they don't have a shot. That's what you think. Tom Brady thinks he has a shot. And especially in his case, more than LeBron, people would say, you don't even have a shot at being a starting quarterback in the NFL. So that same self-belief is what made that all-time great. And that same self-belief that may have him staying too long. You know, I think once he realizes, not when we realize or everybody around him realizes, not until he realizes, okay, I can't win a Super Bowl. I'm not as great as, I can't use my knowledge to combat maybe the lack of physical traits that I had when I was younger. Until he realizes that, I think, you know, not just him, there's most great players, they're going to keep going.
And to piggyback off of P, I couldn't agree more. Except for one issue is that unlike the other all-time greats, I think when it's time to stop is when your physical abilities start to diminish greatly. And the all-time greats, you saw it. You know, he slows down for all the time. Tom Brady is, it's a gift. It's a gift and a curse. And I know you're gonna hate this, Mo, but it's a gift and a curse. To me, Tom Brady, he could have stopped 10 years ago. Because I don't see a drop in his talents from 10 years ago to now. I think what makes Tom Brady so great, is his greatness, cerebral knowledge to win games. He's never been the greatest player any year he's played. LeBron has been the best when he's played. Jordan has been the best when he played. Kobe had a time. Brady has just been the best winner. He knows how to win. Talent-wise, any year you think about, he's been maybe top 5. And I had him at times he was top 10 when he was playing. So it's not like his talents have diminished. And Father Thomas caught up. It's not made him slower. He hasn't lost a step outside of the pocket. You know what I mean? He's still throwing those scud. He's still throwing those scud 4-yard missiles out to these guys. Nothing has changed. So if you'd have told me this 10 years ago, I would have said, yeah, sure. Tom Brady might want to retire. But again, winning wise, he's the GOAT. Quarterback skill wise, he's far from it for me. But top 20, top 25.
I thought you were skirting that line. You were dancing on the line real nice. And then you just said, no,
right, because
he's to get it. I'm just totally disrespect the GOAT.
I mean, if you put a lot on cerebral as opposed to just pure physical talent, and you want your quarterback to be smart, so that's a big part of it. And he needs to have credit for it. But I can name off a slew of quarterbacks, you know, I would prefer to watch than Tom Brady. You know what I mean? It's not the easiest watch for me for what he does. You know what I mean? But he wins. So he wins. I'm not going to take that away from him. You can't take it away from him. And that's the reason why he is the GOAT. 7 is 7. I don't care how you look at it. But
now,
go ahead.
Now, let me ask you this, because I don't want you to stay on Tom Brady too long.
Okay.
LeBron James, do you think he should be calling it quits, man, at this point?
He averaged 30.
Yeah.
I mean,
like he's gonna be stuck on a lottery team. It's like going back to his first year.
But listen, I don't think he should quit. I think Rob Pelinka should quit. He's 30. Like this man still has to say he still has some bounce enough for him to still give you some, hard takes to the lane, some dunks. Yeah, he's not LeBron of 12, 13 years ago. Sure. That's Father Time, but he's still dominant. And they just, Anthony Davis has to take that next step, and you have to put people around him that could support a person going into their 21st season who still give you 30 points a game. That's a Rob Pelinka issue more so than LeBron James issue. But for them, those guys, Tom can still do what he does because he's always done it. So I don't think he shouldn't have a timetable. And LeBron, if he's showing these numbers, it's on them. These are rare commodities you haven't seen like that. Jordan didn't go out this way. I mean, Kobe didn't go out this way. I mean, Tiger didn't go out this way. And you guys are still at the top of their games. However you look at them, Brady is the same for me 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 14 years ago. It's no difference. So,
wow.
Father Time hasn't caught up to him.
Well, I tried New England. I tried.
Yeah, no, listen.
I am a Yankee fan, so there's but so much I can do for Boston fans.
Oh, yeah.
New England fans.
Yeah. That New England era, I'll worry about that later.
P, didn't hear from you. Whatchamacallit? Do you think LeBron James should call it a career?
No, because I think LeBron is at worst a top 10 player, possibly a top 5 player in the NBA still. Mm-hmm. So the Lakers lack, the lack of chances of them making a championship. Again, like I agree with Hill, it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have.
I guess it's just,
so you should be able to compete for a championship if you had other pieces around him.
And I guess it's just me as a fan of LeBron and what he does. At this point in his career, I'm thinking with Tom Brady. If you're not competing for championships, what's the point? Go home and chill out with your family. Have a life.
For LeBron, I mean, he's about to break. Probably
all-time leading scorer.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that, P. I'll give you that.
So there's no way he's going to leave that on the table. I mean, most people wouldn't. I think Barry Sanders is the only person I could think of that kind of had a chance to have that, all-time record. It just was like, I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we talking about LeBron James and continuing the drama hour. Mm-hmm. LeBron James, recent reports states that he reported that he has no relationship with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and has not spoken to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar since becoming a Laker. Mm-hmm. Is this news? Is this something that we should be looking at? I know for me personally, when I first heard about it, I was like, so what? But our discussions off the air kind of swaying me to at least reconsider it on how I'm looking at it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, if him and Kareem spoke every day, the Lakers would still be the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like that. Being basketball wise, that doesn't affect anything. Would you like, one of the all-time greats to be friendly with the all-time greats in a perfect world? Yeah, sure, why not? But if they don't speak, they don't speak.
he's a 37-year-old, and Kareem is like what, in his upper 60s, 70s? Like, what do you mean? Like, does Patrick and Julius go out to dinner every? Like, does Patrick Ewing and Julius Randle talk every day? What?
Well, to be fair though, one is only allowed in the arena, the other one isn't though. Yeah, Randall's allowed in the Garden, Ewing's not.
And to be fair, we were talking about all-time greats talking to each other.
That's another good point too. I mean, not all-time goods.
Yeah.
Okay, so does Giannis have a good relationship with Kareem? No one cares. I think this is the Lakers. I think because it's the Lakers, it's a story. Yeah. Nobody cares. I don't care if Trae Young and Dominique Wilkins have a conversation because it's the Hawks. Mm-hmm. It's the Lakers.
Again, we're talking about all-time greats, but I don't know what Dominique has to do anything about this, but sorry, Nick, we brought you up.
Or Trae.
Yeah, it's another good point too. It's Tinseltown. It's LA. Stories happen. The only thing is he's the unappointed ambassador of the Lakers. Only reason I want to know is just why though? Why isn't there a relationship? You know what I mean? Like like I said, he's worked out with Bynum. You can't find Bynum in the world now, right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he spoke to Dwight. He loved Kobe. He loved man. Why LeBron? To me, I'm gonna go off what I feel. It comes off as sour grapes, the old grumpy man type feel for me. You have this young kid who's come over, who's gonna break your record this year. You saw it happening maybe years down the road. And I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and my name goes synonymous being the all-time leading scorer, and that's gonna leave soon. And that holds some weight. You're gonna be second at some point. And second is always going to be a far from first, period. You know what I mean?
Like the old saying goes, second is only first loser.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, Kareem has seemed to take that tact on to take on the younger players. You know what I mean? So, I want to see Kareem pretty much go out a little bit better than he's doing right now. I see him taking shots at Kyrie, and I understand Kyrie is left field most of the time.
I think his shots against Kyrie might have been justified.
No, I mean, not to say absolutely. For one, it's his opinionated matter, but I mean, where was Kareem? I mean, if you want to say that, I never heard Kareem take no shots towards Jim Brown. I mean, Jim Brown has had his different moments in time with females and his stances, you know, he's had with Don. You know, he's a huge Trump ambassador, Trump supporter. Not to say, I mean, you could support whoever you want to support, but I haven't seen Kareem take those stances because Kareem has his certain. I'm only saying that when I'm trying to, you know, segregate an entire audience is that Kareem stands towards Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you have these feelings, and Jim Brown had, again, to touch on his off the field stuff he's had with women. I've never seen you speak about that, which is, to me, it's a little bit more egregious than a person talking about flat earth. I mean, so again, we pick and choose our battles. So LeBron just seems to be more of a personal thing, in my opinion, that you're now going to be the second player now. So he's probably much been like, you're not a Laker homegrown, and we're not, but neither are you. So again, I'm with LeBron. I'll probably feel the same way. Like, you know, I'm sure he's an ambassador of the game. I'm sure he tried to speak to all the all-time greats and do so. And LeBron is taking that stance now to where he is that ambassador to younger players. He's meeting players in high school, in middle school, when they're coming in their first year, these relationships, you know what I mean? And I love what he does with the players. So yeah, for that, I guess it shows where I'm, you know, what side I'm on more than that. And that's, you know, pretty much LeBron James.
Yeah, I'm I'm more inclined to be on P side of the fence on this, in the sense that I think it's only a story because it's the Lakers.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think otherwise this is really a non-issue.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise. But hey, let's continue the drama hour. And let's wrap it up. Straight up Debo style. Your man Draymond Green ends on his teammate, Mr. Jordan Poole. And it seems like someone on the Golden State Warriors roster or team, organization, leaked out the video of Draymond putting hands on said Mr. Jordan Poole. Did not look good, fellas. And I think this is, people were looking for kinks in the Golden State armor. You just found one. And I think I think this has ruined their chances for repeat. Where are you guys on it? Or have you seen the video? Or
saw the video? It looked bad. I mean, I should have never saw the video. I don't think none of us should have saw the video. The videographer, whoever had control of that, should be canned. I mean, we played basketball. We was at our local YMCAs. We looked down the bench. There were fights on our own bench. Fights happen.
Yeah.
All the time. And the fact that he cold socked them, sucker punch, however you look at it, to me, it was a fight. I'll leave it just as that. You know what I mean? It's very unfortunate that we got to see it. But believe it or not, people, they happen all the time. I mean, it could have risked injury. Poole could have been out months. I totally understand that. Listen, like I said, I'll go back to ours. When we had games and people fought, people could have broke their hand. It happens, but anger takes its toll, and it just was uncontrollable. I think Draymond is at a point right now where he probably cost himself a lot of money. And displaying his anger because of his probably thoughts of not getting money, which he hasn't gotten yet, might have led to him possibly losing money, if you kind of know what I mean. So,
P, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts playing, YMCA high school basketball. I've seen fights in the locker room, like Hill said. I remember a fight on the bench during the game.
On the bench.
You know what I mean?
During the game.
So I think in this case, the fact that it got out is what's done the damage. If we heard Draymond Green and Jordan Poole got into it in practice, you say, okay. But to see the punch, and now Jordan Poole has to answer questions, and I'm sure when on away games, people are going to be giving him the business about, the punch or whatever. So I think that's really going to it's going to be, I can't see it not being divisive, in that locker room. And also I'm in agreement. Draymond messed up that was an expensive punch. That was a very expensive. I feel like management it would have been tough to tell your fan base why you're not paying Draymond prior to the punch. Being the heart and soul of these championship runs. But now I have Exhibit A. They just basically paint him as a cancer in the locker room. That's why we're not going to offer him that much. And then if he goes somewhere else and takes more money, they're going to say, yeah, we didn't want to offer that amount of money for someone who's punching our players.
And P nailed it. I mean, he nailed it. Like, they probably deal with this on a regular basis with Draymond. So if we don't have that footage, we're saying, okay, you give him $40 million. He is maybe, of course, not top priority. So he is one of the biggest commodities for Golden State. You know what I mean?
He's
so
top five. Top five commodities.
Top 3 maybe, but you know what I'm saying? But he's not that with other teams at all. It's not the same, but for Golden State, he's everything.
And that's why I say he really messed up the money, man, because you maximize your money with Golden State. Rules aside, I know if you stay there, the Bird rule, if you stay at the same team, you get paid more. But his fit with Golden State is unlike probably he'll have with any other team in the NBA. Like he's not worth as much to all the other 29 teams as he is to Golden State. So therefore, he won't get paid as much. Expensive punch.
So I mean, if they decided to keep everyone, including Kuminga, Moody, and re-upped on their contracts, it's said to say that there'll be $550 million over the luxury tax if they re-sign, because Clay's up in 2 years. They got to re-sign Draymond. They got to re-sign Wiggins. They got to re-sign Poole. And then they got to re-sign Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman on their contracts. They'll be up for their extensions. So I just think he made it easier for Golden State. Now, granted, they're saying now it's an intense investigation into the videography, the security team, and all of that nature. And they might fire the entire crew to save face, but don't get it twisted. I mean, Bob Myers and those guys in the upper echelons, they'll say that they're upset that this got out, but this is one of the best things business-wise that could have ever happened to them. I mean, it's put so much leverage in their side right now.
And especially with a player that his lack of control of his emotions has led to some of the lowest of lows for this team. You know, I think of, was it 2015 championship
that saved Christmas?
Yeah, that gave LeBron his championship in Cleveland. I truly believe that Cleveland would not have won that series if he had not been ejected and suspended for a game. And then you go on to his fractious relationship with Kevin Durant coming towards the end of his contract with Golden State, where you pretty much kicked Kevin Durant out the door and begged him to find another team. And now we have an up-and-coming guy that we drafted. You know, this is our own farm system, and he's been able to succeed in our system, and you're knocking him out in practice. What is going on? You know, like I said, I think that whatchamacallit, he, like you guys have been saying, I think he's cost himself several millions of dollars.
It's a $160 million punch. And if you're Jordan Poole, I mean, I remember Kurt Rambis for the punch. I remember Rudy Tomjanovich for the punch. Jordan Poole is going to be remembered for the punch. You know what I mean? And how do you stay on Golden State with Draymond still there? How do you make it work? Now, I think they'll work this year out. I still have them as a favorite to win the championship. I think they'll make it work some way, somehow. Steph and Draymond appeasing the locker room, but he's always one step away from a blow up. But I think they'll make it work this year. Their team is just too good. But if you're Jordan Poole, you have options. If they decide, you know, to stick with Draymond in any capacity, if they say here's 4 years, $20 million, you know, you're not getting to 160. Here's 20. You get a cut from your 25 down to 20. You know, take it or leave it. And he decides to take it. If you're Jordan Poole, would you stay there? Even if they're going to give you 35 to 40 million.
And that's, I guess, that would depend on, hey, if I'm Jordan Poole, my relationship with Draymond, how you know, how it was before the punch, you know, and also what's important to me, you know, I know the video coming out the way it has, it might be embarrassing as a man, you know, to have the world see you get knocked, punched like that and whatnot. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Golden State is the only one that could offer him the $40 million for 5 years. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, he can get 30 something somewhere else.
Yeah. So how much does that extra 10 to 15 million mean to me? You know, does it cover the embarrassment that I might feel about, hey, this grown man, you know, laying hands on me and the way it turned out, and then coming back to play with him. So it really depends.
And it's a lifetime to make it right too, though. I mean, let's not forget that. I mean, his apologies, he's working towards it. There's really making Jordan feel like, it was a huge mistake. It should have never happened. But I mean, to me, like, it happened though. You know what I'm saying? It still happened.
Yeah.
But you can do all types of apologies and whatever, because unrelated reports are saying that they were shooting the dozens about contracts and tears and who I was. And then the young man said some stuff, how he feels towards and what his money dollar is and it was pretty much, they're just shooting the dozens and it just got too far for Draymond. You know what I mean? So can you come back from that? I don't think so. I think you could work on this year and solidifying that bag, but I think JP is either out or I think Richard Foreman is out.
It really, like I said, that's why I say it really depends on their relationship before the party. Because that's like, I know me and you can get into a knockout drag out.
Right.
And a week later, hey, we could be at the court next week playing together.
Right.
And whatnot. And I'm daring anybody to breathe on you wrong. You know what I mean? And so if they had that, you know what I mean? If they were more brotherly, then they're friends, then hey, maybe they can work it out. But if they're just friends, associates that were kind of friends, then maybe it's not as easy.
We can work out this year, but one of us has to go. And that's the talent. You guys, I agree with you all. Like you couldn't be more right. It's just it's a heck of a situation. But if you had to do something, let's just say nuclear right now, trade deadline.
Well,
who would you give for him, or who would you trade for?
There's a trade proposal that has been floated out that I read about this morning. They were saying, would you do this trade? It had to be a 3-team trade. You have Draymond going to the Lakers. You have the Lakers, Golden State, and Indiana in it. You have Draymond going to the Lakers. The Lakers sending Russell Westbrook to Indiana. Indiana sending Miles Turner to Golden State. I think Indiana would have to sweeten the pot a little bit for the Lakers side of things. Because I don't think that the contract. I don't think the contracts kind of match up in the sense of the Lakers just getting Draymond out of the deal and letting go of Russell. I think they would need another contract or two in there.
I actually like that deal. And then Draymond is he's irreplaceable for Golden State, but he is replaceable. I mean, if you told me you were doing him for Ben Simmons, I would do it.
Wow.
I just think Golden State's that deep. And I just think that I've had my fair share of Draymond Green. And Ben Simmons, anything toward? No, he's not. But Golden State is so talented, they can make up elsewhere for it. But I could be wrong. But there's a couple of deals that I can see doing in which you would keep JP there and everyone else knowing that like that type of behavior is not warranted here and we protect our players. For some odd reason, I feel like it's war's course and it's time to go. And I love Draymond Green, what he means to Golden State.
He going.
Tough. Yeah, no, I that's the way I feel. Yeah, I agree with you, B. I do. I really do. I think it is. And I think he threw, like I said, I think he threw a $160 million punch, but I don't think he can get back.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think Draymond's going to be able to stay with the Golden State Warriors after this? Do you think that they'll be able to work it out? What are the chances of Golden State repeating now that this has happened and is out in the social media universe? Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can catch us on YouTube or email us directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Hit that subscription button and the notification button so you know when the next show is coming up.